Hey everyone, this is Jamie Leha, and today I'm sharing a flip through of the finished Harry Potter Traveler's Notebook that I put together. So it's a nice big chunky one. I love how it turns out. So I got to visit the Harry Potter Warner Brothers tour in London several years ago, actually in 2013, so it's been a good long while. And I had not scrapbooked that experience, but I've been purchasing Harry Potter odds and ends, products and different things over the years, and decided that it was time to scrapbook about it. So one of the things that I had purchased was this traveler's notebook cover. It's something I got from Etsy. The company that I got it from, and I'll have to look up the name for you guys. She doesn't make these anymore, but she does have one that's like a Marauder's Map themed one. So this is Harry Potter, but it's not overtly Harry Potter. Like if you didn't know the movies and the books really well, you probably wouldn't even realize that this is Harry Potter. But specifically in the Half-Blood Prince, there is a potion textbook that Harry is referring to a lot throughout that film and the book as well. And this is the cover of the book that they had designed for it. So I love that it's Harry Potter, but not like in your face Harry Potter. So it is a traveler's notebook. So it has, the elastics in it. And what I did was purchase some of the 6x8 inserts that Freckled Fawn makes. And I actually had to use my fuse tool to create a new smaller or thinner, not as wide page, and then I had to trim them down so that they would fit in here, because this isn't this is, I guess, like a more of a 5x8 size versus a 6x8 size, so I had to do a bit of cutting and trimming, but it's fine, it worked. And I didn't have to make my own inserts or anything like that, and I'm able to slip things in and out of pockets, and I really like that this was available as an option for me. So I'm just going to start flipping through the pages, and I know that the glare is going to be an issue. I'm sorry about that. I don't really know how to combat that, especially since if I turn these lights off, y'all aren't going to be able to see it as well. So I don't know if maybe leaning it may help a little, maybe not. But so anyway, this is the front, the first title, like the first page, the title page of this. And I left it really plain, mainly because I do know that I have some Harry Potter ephemera. Like I know that I have the ticket from my visit that day in one of the various ephemera boxes that I have in my closet. I don't know which one, and I didn't have time, or really didn't have the inclination to go through all of those boxes to find it. So I know I'm going to go through those soonish. Probably I want to get that done before the end of the year. So once I have my ticket, I figured I could just, slide it in here, or put a paper clip or something just to put it here in the front and call it a day. But for now, it's decorated, it's a full-size photo, and I added some Nouveau embellishment mousse, which is kind of like a modeling paste. This one is like our coppery color, and I used a stencil from Echo Park paper to add these little lightning bolts. Also, I wanted to add that this is something that I purchased off of Etsy a while back. It's Hedwig. And she was just so cute, I couldn't pass her up, so I added her just kind of directly to the little elastic here. So she lives inside this album now. The majority of the products that I used are from the new Echo Park paper Witches and Wizards collection. I just thought it was a great Harry Potter collection, so I got most of it. I got just about everything. I didn't get the full 12x12 paper pack. I opted for the 6x6, and then I got the ephemera, the sticker sheet, yep, and then there was a few other items that I purchased for Harry Potter along the way. So this one, I think this is an Imaginesque patterned paper. I'm not 100% sure, so sorry about that. It's an older paper, so I'm not sure even if it's still available. And then earlier in January, Kelly Purkey had put out a Harry Potter themed set of stamps and some 3x4 cards and also some die cuts. And so I intermixed those products together to put this together. So this is kind of the main journaling that I have. It's just talking about the day and how I came to be out there, how I came to be in London, to have the opportunity to visit there. So just kind of an overview. And then I'm going page by page, or like a set by set that I walked through on the day. So spoiler alert, don't read the journaling. If you think there's a possibility that you will have the opportunity to visit, maybe don't read the journaling, because one thing that happened right at the beginning was kind of a really magical moment for me, and I wouldn't want to spoiler it for anyone else who may visit. So just don't read the journaling on this page specifically. But let me just continue to flip through so you can see the various sets and things. So this is the entrance to the Great Hall. This is inside the Great Hall. And one thing about a lot of these photos is there tended to be a lot of blues and purples, just because of the lighting that they were using at the time. They may still be using it, I'm not 100% sure. So lots of blues and purples and a little bit of pinks. And so I actually purchased Traci Reed's Ex Libris embellishment digital. It's a digital kit, and there was some powder paper in there were some embellishments, a few other things. And so what I ended up using a lot of was the pattern paper, and just cutting out bits and pieces of it to include in this traveler's notebook, because I think the colors coordinate really well. And I just loved how the contrast here of like kind of the darker burgundy, the black, and this great pop of purple and blue. And like I said, it's a mix of Echo Park stuff, Kelly Purkey stuff, and Traci Reed stuff at this point. This is a Traci Reed pattern paper. I just loved how it looked, and there's a mishmash of things. I've been collecting little lightning bolt embellishments for a bit now, knowing that Harry Potter Travelers, or a Harry Potter album, was in my future. So this, I think, was from Studio Calico. I think these are actually My Mind's Eye, maybe. Yeah, anytime I saw any lightning bolts, I made sure to snap them up, because I knew that I would probably use them. And then it's just a mix of other things. So like this is Felicity Jane letter stickers. Like I think every page has a different set of letter stickers. I didn't really put a lot of continuity into this, and that's okay with me. Here's some odds and ends, various set and props and different things. I used stamp sets from Kelly Purkey here, just to add on this craft background. And like this is the odds and ends. Like these really didn't need to have their own individual pages, but like here's the fat lady. I kind of wish I hadn't put her in the center. I wish I had switched those, but that's okay. Here's the boys' dorm room. This background paper is Traci Reed. This was actually a 4x6 journaling card from Kelly Purkey that I cut into circles there. And this is some American Craft stickers. Like, so the inside was like a wood grain, but it was really light. So I actually used an alcohol ink, a brown alcohol ink marker, to darken it up a bit so it wouldn't be as distracting. This is the Gryffindor Common Room. I added more of that modeling or embellishment mousse from Nuvo. Yeah, and just had fun playing. So it was kind of a challenge because I only had the 6x6 paper pad, so I had to figure out how to kind of strategically use the pattern paper to make backgrounds using that. And there's lots of full page photos as well, so that definitely helped. This is the Mirror of Erised. It's just kind of a page about like the selfies that I took. I was on my own, so I had to find reflections of myself in order to get in some of these photos, and this was just a really bad selfie. So this was in 2013. I think at the time I had like an iPhone 3 or 4, and you know, those were not very great in low light situations, which this definitely was. So the photos aren't the best, but they're what I have, and you know, they definitely help me tell a story. Even though they're not the world's greatest images, I'm still happy that I have them and that I could put together this book about it. So this was a really great set that was kind of like right in the middle of this huge warehouse that they have that they've converted into this tour. And this was the clock from the Prisoner of Azkaban, and I think it was also featured a little bit in Not the Goblet of Fire. What was the one that came after that? Not the Half-Blood Prince. It's the one right in between. The Order of the Phoenix. It was also in that movie as well, and it was moving. This prop was actually moving. That's why this is a little bit blurry. So that was really cool to see. A lot of things were actually in movement, and I'll point them out as I go along. There was the display and all the different wands, so I thought that was cool. It may be hard to see, but I stamped Expecto Patronum here using some copper embossing powder. I turned a lot to some metallics in here. Basically, I had recently purchased a lot of copper and bronze mixed media stuff to use in my December daily, and it came in the same order with the Echo Park products, and so I just thought that they would be combined really well, so I made sure to use them here in addition to probably using them in my December daily. But I didn't want to limit myself to just the copper in this album, so I played a lot with mixing metallics, and you know what? I think it turned out cool, and it's actually pretty fun. So this was Dumbledore's office. I had this great big sticker from Kelly Purkey. These two things are from Kelly Purkey, as well as this. And my title here was Sherbet Lemon, since that was one of the passwords that was used to get into Dumbledore's office in one of the films/books. Snape's Classroom was a really cool set. So I believe it was this one. They had rigged it to where the wand was like stirring itself. So little bits of magic that are sprinkled into this tour. This is the Kelly Purkey stuff. This is Echo Park. And this is Traci Reed. Again, just using those are predominantly the products that I used to put this together. And I just really love this potions pattern. I love that dark green. Here is Hagrid's hut. And since in the Prisoner of Azkaban film, there was lots of big pumpkins out there, I added pumpkins to embellish this. This is the burrow. This was another set where they had bits of magic going on. So they had, you saw it in the film, but it was also happening on the set where the dishes were washing themselves. And then also in this chair, which is right here as well, the scarf, the knitting needles were knitting themselves. Just a few photos of the Ministry of Magic, which I thought were cool. Some Death Eater stuff. I know they're the bad guys, but these are like really cool. I wish that I had found my silver stickers and ahead of putting these gold ones on. But I was being really lazy and my gold ones were right in front of me, so I put them there. And you know what? It's fine. It's no big deal. We have Umbridge costumes, costumes and part of her set, which was really fun because like as I've been putting this together, I've been rewatching the films, and so it was fun to be working on this page while watching the Order of the Phoenix, where she was wearing this costume. Here is some of the graphic design stuff that they have. So they have 2 full cases of like the paper ephemera and like the various products and packaging they had to design for like the Weasley shop, and I just really love these cases. I spent a lot of time just staring at them and was just completely in awe and like thinking what a cool job to have to be making these like props for a movie set, things that were utilized by the actors and as set decoration. I just thought that was super cool. And then this was all in like one of the warehouse's hangars or whatever, sound stages, I guess is what they are. And then you walked outside and you got to see some of the outside sets, but there was also a place for you to get butterbeer, which was basically cream soda. And the night bus was out there, which was really cool. And then also number 4 Privet Drive is out there, so you got to see that as well. And then you walk into the next warehouse, and this is kind of, it was more like a workshop. So this is where they made a lot of the creatures and characters from the films, and they had, you know, what they had created for the films left over, and so there's these huge displays, which were really amazing. So this is one of the mechanical Hagrid heads. Here's Dobby, here's Fox, Cornish Pixie, Aunt Marge. And then I just loved these guys. What are they? The Thestrals, I guess, is what they're called. It was really cool. This is like one of my favorite layouts in the album as well. And then you turned a corner and you were walking down Diagon Alley, which was amazing. I took a lot of photos, but you know, again, low light situation, not great camera, and you're walking in the street, so it's a bit narrow to like, you basically have to stand at one storefront to take photos of the other storefront, but then there were other people walking past, just so it's not an ideal photo taking scenario, but I did get some nice images, or decent photos, I guess. So I'm happy to have, you know, Diagon Alley in my album as well. But of course, the most ostentatious of all of the Diagon Alley shops was Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, which is really cool, bright orange, and so I made sure to take lots of images of those. And then the very last part of the tour is the model of Hogwarts that the filmmakers used to film some like outside scenes and different things. So it was gigantic, and you got to walk all the way around it, and it was really amazing. Like, they had the theme song playing, and I don't know, it was just very magical. And like I say here, I kind of got emotional at this point. I just thought it was really great. Yep. And then more of that as well. I mean, this is a huge 3D model. It's 1/24th scale of what you would see on the films. So the films show it large and huge. And it is rather large even for model standards, of course. So very cool that you get to walk around the whole thing. And the lights change, so sometimes it's blue and sometimes it's pink. And then this is the last page that I have. The last set that you walk through is Ollivander's shop, and there's all of these wand boxes, and actually each of the boxes shows like a cast or crew member's name. So all of the people that were involved in the 8 films have their name here, and I thought that was just a really nice tribute to the cast and the crew. And then at the end here, I have a couple of empty pages. Again, like I mentioned with the first page, I have some ephemera that is somewhere in a box that I need to unearth, and so I have room in here to add it to the back of this album. And so I ended up making 57 pages, 57 5x8 pages for this album, and I just really love how it turned out. This was such a fun, special like trip place to visit, and I'm so happy that I have it documented. I love it. It's been fun to think back on and rewatch the movies and just fall in love all over again with Harry Potter. And yeah, I love it. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it.